what they do not want you to know. Something I've discovered.
Mentor, I know you have doubted me. But please, my absence has not been in vain. Look what I have found.
You should have left it where it lay. Do you have any idea of its purpose or power?
I was hoping you could enlighten.
Had you not insisted on dredging it up, no one would need to know.
The Templars will be looking for it. Please, send reinforcements to help me retrieve and guard the other half.
No. Remove it from my sight. Bury it and forget the spot. Grind it into powder. Plant it under an alligator nest. Let me never lay eyes on it again.
What about our greater goals? I liberated the slave camp in Chichen Itza. Did that not surpass our best expectations? Have I not earned...
Aveline, you surpass my patience and earn your reputation for impulsiveness.
Very well.
Now be gone.
Right, so far the true memory, like, it definitely seems Evelyn has a pretty bad relationship with her mentor. We don't know the full story yet of the disc, so we don't know why it is that he hates the idea of it so much. Typically, the Brotherhood has always, if they would always rather get the objects first. Any piece of Eden or anything that was close related to the piece of Eden, a piece of Eden, they would always want to get first, so that way they can try and safeguard them. But this artifact of the first civilization, her mentor is absolutely not wanting anything to do with it. We're seeing like a lot of I'm seeing like personally a lot of parallels to Altair and Connor, in the form of like Evelyn struggling with impulsiveness. Like, now again, like, their mentors obviously are of a greater age than these characters, but often successes with these characters have often led to them believing that they can do things a bit better, and Evelyn's desire to do good, and again, this is similar to Altair's desire to take out the Templars whenever he saw fit, or whenever he saw an opportunity, and Connor's recklessness in charging into battle. All these just sudden acts of like, oh yeah, I should be able to handle this, or this serves our goals, so of course I should do it. Not realizing the end result might lead into something far worse. For Altair, it was the attack of the Templars on the village of Massif. Connor's over-eagerness into taking down, of helping the Patriots led to his people losing so much land, and it has led to Charles Lee manipulating his best friend, which resulted in him having to kill his best friend. And with Evelyn's desire of freeing slaves and grabbing an artifact from the first civilization, led her to... We don't know the end result yet, but her mentor clearly believes that, like, the impulsiveness of her goals of freeing slaves and whatnot is out of line. It is possible that he could think it draws too much attention to the Brotherhood, considering it sort of builds on what Evelyn said, which is the whole story of her how the Templars don't want people to be free. Like, they always want slaves, because I guess that makes it easier for them to control the rich. if one set of slaves owns another set of slaves, would the first set of slaves realize that they are slaves? You know what I mean? And I think that's, and by being so active, maybe her mentor thinks that it will bring down the ire of the Templars a bit much. Again, the assassins, whereas the Templars have definitely started, have always operated in secrecy, they tend to operate a little bit more out in the public. They have, like, you know, front covers and all that. Like, for example, the modern Templars use Abstergo. The Templars during Ezio's time had the Borgia, as well as some other businesses. And I think that's actually it. The Templars during the American Civil War acted a lot more in secrecy. They didn't really have any fronts on either side. Yeah. I'm trying to think. No, that's actually about it. Oh, why did I mark that? I need to actually mark that one. Oh, it's flash up my behind it. But yeah, no, Templars often have fronts. Whereas the assassins, except for the time of Ezio's period, actually no, they do tend to have fronts for their bases. Actually, no, sorry, I'm actually mistaken. The Templars had 3 fronts in terms of Ezio's period. They would typically integrate themselves with the underground, such as thieves' guilds, courtesans, as well as mercenaries. They would tend to integrate themselves into those types of factions. Factions that can essentially go anywhere and blend in and get things done in the shadows, with the exception of the Templars. Sorry, the mercenaries. Whereas in Assassin's Creed Unity, they have that playhouse. I'm trying to think. No, during Edward's time, just before this game, which it would have been set just before this game. Game's era is like two generations before this game. There's the assassins were very much in hiding. They actually even dressed like Aztecs. There's only really 2 assassins at that point that operated more so in the open under the guise of piracy. And then there's... No, Odyssey takes place before this. Origins takes place before this. Valhalla, not really counting that. Assassin's Creed Syndicate returned back to the old... Okay, yeah, so the assassins typically integrate themselves into the underworld, crime type of stuff, more or less, even though they try and use their criminal connections for good. Because even in Syndicate, your whole cover is like the gang, you know, the Rooks. So yeah. Also, I will say it's a bit annoying that you spend 500 currency on each of these buildings, but they don't even generate a passive income. Their only sole purpose. The dressing rooms make sense, the dressing chambers, because they allow you to swap between your personas. But the need to buy tailor shops is just like, what's the point? Like, yeah. Again, Liberation is my least favorite Assassin's Creed game. It's just not really fun. But no, she has so Liberation and Unity have are the one of the few Assassin's Creed games where they have a legit cover for their base of operations. All the other Assassins, all the other Brotherhoods tend to have more hidden underground facilities with no front. And we know at a certain point the Brotherhood is in such disarray that they now live in communes scattered in countrysides. So they are completely underground, whereas the Templars have Abstergo and can operate somewhat more in the open. Alright, so yeah, I can see where her mentor is a bit concerned about drawing too much of the Templars' ire, especially given. Actually, no, because Connor just took out the Grand Master in the Americas. So the Templars should actually have very little power here. Now that I think about it. So it then raises the question on I don't understand her. Again, we need to know the full story of this game to figure it out, because clearly her mentor is around the same age as Achilles. Maybe he was a bit younger. But yeah, no. So it would be understandable that, because we know that the Brotherhood had a strong presence in the Americas, but then something with Achilles happened that caused them to rapidly lose their influence, and the Brotherhood to essentially be destroyed in America. And then Connor was the one that basically restored it. This game must be taking place roughly before that period. Otherwise, her mentor would have noticed maybe the decrease in Templar influence. But then again, we're mainly dealing with the French and the Spanish. So, maybe it's not just yet.
I am buying tonight.
But now it is curious of her mentor wanting to act in such secrecy, and then chastising her for, again, essentially doing what the Brotherhood always wanted to do. Alright, I'm going to end this video and then we're going to start with the next mission, folks. But then that will actually, no, you know what, this should be it. I have an important meeting in an hour and I don't want to risk being late for it. This is the Celtic Nerd, signing out. One name, one sky.